Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode number 7 of Building and Beyond. Ranqeust here. I'd like to do things a little bit different. So first off, we'll get into what I've done off camera in just a little bit. I'd like to start thanking the people that are going to make this experience everything that it can and will be. So as you can see, I've started a monument. This is going to be one of, I hope, many uh, monuments that I'm going to put out in this area for people that subscribe to me, as well as people that follow me on Twitter. Because without you guys, all I'm really doing is talking to nobody. Granted, this is a ton of fun, and I'm loving every minute of it. Uh, Even with the few subscribers that I have, the hope and dream is that snip, I can grow this channel to be able to entertain a wider audience with multiple series. And so this building LP is definitely going to be, one of my favorites and one of. Ooh, I'm getting hit with lag. I think my computer's doing something. So it's definitely going to be one of my more favorite and at least at this point, most work done series. But I plan on doing multiple LPs for different games, and I'll get into that in a little bit later too. But hold on, let me recycle Fraps because it's doing something weird. Oh, am I back? Nope. All right, guys, I'm back. So I had Steam open, and I think it was doing an update, which is what was causing all that terrible lag. So back to what I was saying. So I'd like to go through and thank my first subscribers and first followers on things like Twitter. And I've got some signs here. So I'd like to say thank you to my first YouTube subscriber, Huge 3 Flip. Definitely, that was probably one of the best sights seeing, a tally in that subscriber mark. Followed by equally important Michael Scott, Christina Cassio, and Kay Lyons. Thank you very much for subscribing to me. And then also on the Twitterverse, I'd like to say thank you to Thriller Killer. He has a YouTube channel as well, so check him out. But he was my first Twitter follower, followed by Eustace MC. So the plan for this is going to be some spires, and you've got your dark wood with your fencing on the side, and then in the back I've got a little bit of a maintenance area so that I can come over here, throw some cobblestone in the furnace and cook up some more parts. But yeah, so now let's get into what I've done off camera. As you can see, the entrance to our ravine city is coming up nicely. Right now, I had to do a little bit of a slight modification just because we did not have the lapis that we wanted. If you remember in episode 4, these pillars here and here, they were a blue color, which I do want them to be. That I think the blue just gives it a nice lighter and cheery feel and look. So as we get the lapis and I start collecting all that stuff, I will switch these out. But I think that the coal actually has a pretty decent look. So another thing that I've done off camera is I've started to carve my way through here a little bit more as far as our path down below. And I'm going to do it the hard way. I know this is probably this is a bad idea, but to save time, we're going to go this way. So, ow, let's eat up to heal. So as you can see, I've definitely carved out some more. looking back at the way I want the shape to be, I definitely know that I'm going to want to carve this wall out quite a bit more, and so that I can get the path to more gradually in a curve come this way. If you remember here, this is where our path kind of came down, so I did have to make another little pathway up so that we can get up there. But I think this is coming out really nice, and I've got a little spot for the cobblestone that I'm going to need to cook up eventually. And what I was thinking was that if I hug this corner and carve out this way, and have the path come in this arc, I would actually like to, possibly put in a little pond here and have maybe a waterfall coming down. I think that would look great. And so yeah, and then I'm gonna have to carve out a little bit more this way, and then it's gonna go all the way into the back over here, and the plan is to have some almost like a vault. So this is where this section of the city ends, and we're gonna get into the more heart of the ravine city. So yeah, that's what is the plan, and that's where we've gone. That's where we're going to be headed. So let's head back on up. I want to do let's see, what do I got? I'm going to need to pick up a little bit more stone. I want to work on those outer wings of that. Do I have anything in here? No. I want to work on those outer wings of the entrance, with the windows, and I want to do a little building on camera so you can see kind of how I go about things. My building style, I like to start off with one almost similar to like a primer block, and in this build case, which we're going to sleep a little bit, happens to be the smooth stone. And then as I build, I like to add layers, and I think layers of blocks really help add a lot of detail, especially when you're making a massive build, like we're planning. The more detail that you have per area, the more busy it looks, and it almost justifies having the size of the build that we have. So yeah, this is our upfront entrance, and I will say that it is slightly a little bit different than the creative world. I think I built the front entrance just one block higher than I did. So if you're looking back and forth, you'll definitely notice the change. But I think it looks good. It gives it almost a little better symmetry that way. And actually, if you look, it almost looks like there's a little face right here, which is kind of cool. So we've got our netherrack, or our netherwort growing. It's definitely coming in nicely. So I'll show you our little stash. There it is. So we got a stack and a half going, plus some extras. We've got definitely some sugar canes, and I did finish the enchanting area. I built the last bookshelf that was needed, so we can get all the way up to a level 30 enchant, which brings me to another another interesting segment. So I definitely went caving, and I got quite a bit of resources. And what definitely attributed to that was this guy. I got a level 30 enchant, which gave me an efficiency 4 and a fortune 3 pick, which is awesome. And then I have this unbreaking 3 pick. So what I've been trying to do is get enough levels so that I can use this guy. I was able to craft an anvil, and what you can do with an anvil is you can repair enchanted picks, which is awesome. And while also repairing, you can actually... Too expensive. That wasn't expensive. Uh-oh. Okay, so hold on one second. So you can repair your enchanted weapons and tools, and that costs levels. So it looks like I'm going to have to do this. And then going forward, you can actually combine your tools, and it has a chance of adding your enchantments together. So by adding these guys plus a total of 36 levels, I will get one pick that has efficiency 4, fortune 3, and unbreaking 3 all in one, which is spectacular. So I'm going to put this pick away so that we don't have to waste any more levels again. And we'll put that away anyways, because we're going to be doing some building. Alright, so sleep, sleep, sleep. That's what I gotta do. Okay. So, let's work out these windows. Alright, if I remember correctly, the most important thing about building, at least that I've learned from, watching other YouTubers as well as, just through my own experiences, is when you're building large structure or any sort of structures, one of the more important things that you want to do is build in odd numbers. And what that does is it allows you to have centers of structures, so that you can mirror things more effectively, and that just essentially makes your builds that much easier. I know that from countless builds that I've done, mistakenly building in doubles just means that when you're trying to build roofs, or if you're trying to center doors and windows, unless you plan it out and that's your plan to have even numbers, it can definitely screw up a lot of your builds that way. But anyway, so let me pause the video real quick. I'm going to look at what I did on the other side just to make sure I get it right, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, so here's how the build went. And this is really going to play into, again, the layers aspect. So what I did was, let's see, I built a frame, in this case, and I went 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you shift click when you're coming over the edge. Ooh, that's a slime. 4, 5. Here's the center. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll add another one for the outside. And alright, let's build this shape up. Come on. Now if I were to fall from here, that would be beyond painful. I would be a very sad clown, because this is getting up towards the depth zone. Come back over, and so we have our frame. Wonderful. Okay, so now that we have our frame, this is going to be our outer bounds, and usually what I like to do is anytime I build windows or any sort of structures, I like to make them inset, to give you multiple different layers and shadows, which all help to enhance your build. And shadows are probably one of the more important aspects, because when you're, depending on the types of materials you're using and the specific block types, shadows will play a huge role in how things look, even when you're when you're not expecting them to. So, you can do one thing and then not really like it, but then once you see it at nighttime, you see all the different shadows that crap that it casts, and it really pops as far as the eye goes. And definitely one of the best blocks to use for shadows is stairs. And the stair is easily by far one of my favorite block genres. I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's what I would call it. And it's for that that reason alone. I mean, you get so much variations in what you can see, and especially with them adding upside down stairs and all those cool different options. Stairs are easily my go-to block. Let's dig this out a little bit more. Now all this here will eventually be cleared back, so the building again is going to go way back that way. The floor for the building will probably be maybe around this level here, maybe one below. I'm not really sure. I'll have to play that out in my creative world beforehand, but it's definitely something that's going to take quite a bit of time off camera, of course. So, 4, 5, 6, come on. Come on. Now, especially with whenever you're building something, from scratch, and in this case, I already have an idea of what I'm doing. I just have to mimic what my steps were. Whenever I'm building, there's definitely a lot of trial and error that goes into it. It really comes down to, going up, building a scaffolding for getting up to where I need to be, putting some blocks up, going back to where, back to a distance, and, really looking at what the structure looks like during the day, and sometimes waiting till night to even see what it looks like. 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the center. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, as far as my building style, I like double checking and looking around and making sure that everything is in the exact right spot. But it also has an organic flow to it where as I'm placing, you get into a groove of adding different layers of detail blocks like stairs and all these cool little additions, and you almost get to the point where it just comes by just right off the bat, and you don't even need to think about it. So yeah, that's right. So as I was building this this doorway, I started off with the first archway, and then I wanted to give a couple layers of depth on here. So I built the second one and the third one, just plain based off of the smooth stone. And as I was going, those stairs up here that, let's get back to get a better look. Those little lines and cuts, those actually didn't come in until probably the end of the whole build as a whole, where I was like, this is just empty. And so I just started throwing up stairs and strips, and as you can see again with the way that the blocks cast the shadows, you get this textured look in it. It almost looks like it ramps out towards you right at the top. and it gives such an awesome detailed look. So definitely when you're building, you want to make sure that, start with a canvas, a blank canvas, start with one stroke, add your details, but then go back to, your original sections and make sure you try to, prop them up with different like little details. And I think the little details add everything, pretty much all the character to your build. So, and again, a lot of that comes from not even I need a ton of stairs. And it's not even from the things that you can see. Like there's a lot of details in here that you probably wouldn't see, but they're equally important. So, you've got the one thing that I'd like to note is, you've got the fence posts that line the pillars. Those help break up a lot of the gray, which are really important, but they don't really take away from the whole structure. And another thing that I implemented, that adds, I think, in a lot of detail, I gotta eat, is this strip of smooth stone where it breaks up the brick, and you don't even see it right away. It's not until you actually get up close and personal to the build that that you start to see that, but it clearly cuts and definitely adds some features. So okay, so yes, stairs, that's what I was going to build. Let's grab the workbench and bring it over there. I'm going to actually cut through here because I don't feel like falling into the ravine. Ooh, that grass, you just scared the living bejesus out of me. I thought that you were a creeper, and I was going to be very sad. So, alright, so let's throw a torch here, and that one will go eventually, but... Alright, workbench. Let's throw you down. And we need some more bricks, because we're going to need a ton of stairs. Alright. So. Yep. Okay. And let's get the dirt in the bar. And to further on that, just organic and going back and building something, then changing it. With these windows, when I was first building them, I originally had it to where these were complete circles. So this block here came straight across, and that looked nice. I definitely think it was a good idea to begin with, but as I was, nope, I need you upside down. As I was going along, I started looking at it, and hi, I was like, you know what? I wonder what it would look like. This is going to be one long window, and I think it turned out good. I think with the one long window, especially for aesthetics-wise, if you're coming down from say your travels and you look in, you have this huge window to be able to see the entirety of what's inside, versus if they're cut straight across, it almost looks like there's different levels. And this is definitely going to be an open structure to begin with. But so let's upside down, upside down, brick, brick. And that is it. Cool. So let's carefully head down. We've got some friends down there. Ah, crap. Let's see if I can take care of him with this. Darn it. Come back here. See, he knows. He knows what's up with that. Here, buddy. Where'd he go? Oh. Where did he go? That's... Oh, there you are. You brought some friends. I see. There you are. This is the friend. Okay. Let's craft a shovel. Quickly. Do I have iron? Do I have iron? No. So let's craft another cobblestone shovel. And that's my last die. Okay. Ba-doop. Quick, quick. Oh, yeah. Take that. You can't get me. Haha. That's a lot of guys. Alright. You, my friend, need to take a fall. Get out of my way. Are you all getting in line for this? Go. Yep, you too. Come on. Even the babies. Get out of here. Pain in my butt. I'm trying to do a show here, guys. And all you guys want... Ooh, golden helmet. Full-bodied. Yep, you go too. You go too. Go play. Go play. Get out. Okay. Finally. Alright. Where were we? Upside down. Upside down. Regular. Regular. Right side up. Right side up. Upside down. Upside down. There. Do we need more? Nope, we're good. You. Boop. 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 Doop. Alright, and let's head back down and take a look. Nice. That's oop. Hey! Stop it! You have angered me. Die. Ooh, arrow. Ouch. Stop it. Die. Ah, baby! 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 He's almost like a little football player. No. Axe. Axe the next one. Okay, I think it's time to take a nap. But yeah, so there we have that. I'm going to match up the other side, and I will be right back. And we will, after I come back from the break, which will be about a second for you guys, we will go into the next level of detail for these windows. Okay, guys, I'll see you in a second. So I'm coming back. As you can see, I have yet to finish that side. I would like to send out a public service announcement for those in the area. Warning, all employees of the Ravine City building project, please be cautious. That goes to you too, Sheepy. And stay behind this yellow line. That is a cliff. And falls from this height, they hurt. So I was coming around, hopping like a fool, just running to go get something, and coming this way. Oh, I don't want to trample, and I jump on top of here, and I fall all the way down, and it hurt. So I'm going to leave this yellow wool as a reminder to be careful. Sheepy, this side of the yellow line. Come on, get down. This side. All right. But if you fall, I warned you. All right, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So, as you can see, I finished that side. And we've got some nice symmetry working here. Now, one thing, too, that I learned the hard way after working. I remember I was working on a castle build a while back, is whenever you make progress, so say if you're building something like this where symmetry is very important, whenever you make progress on one side, do this side as soon as you can. Do not get too far in the build on one half of the project before you go to the other side, because if you do, if I were to, build out this window and even more so than that, build out the window, say if that was another, like, say, wing, build this, put a roof on it, do something awesome inside, and then if I were to have to go and duplicate that on this side, very, very hard to do. So make sure when you're doing things like this, make sure to work on both sides in equal and attainable parts. So that's why I cut out, and I went to do that side, because if you get too far, you lose where you are, and it's no fun. So the next spot that I'd like to work on. So we've got our next. We first started with our square frame and the center pillar. That was our essentially canvas. Then we added our next layer of detail, which is these stairs here, spiraling up and out. The next part is going to be adding a little bit more texture in the front. And what that is going to call for is these guys here. These are the stone fences. And I honestly love these blocks. I really do. I was so happy when they added these. This is dangerous. I'm going to do this way. When Mojang, when they add blocks, they do it strategically. I think I've said this before. But you play around with so many different blocks, and you kind of wish you had one of everything in all the different colors. And I know that's not necessarily possible as far as with all the technical side and the code, but you just wish that you could have stairs and slabs and what's the other one? And fence posts, yes, hello, for every block, because things would be a lot more interesting. But I do get why they don't do that, because the code, at least the game of Minecraft, is definitely, bye-bye, we'll get that later, is definitely something that's growing, and they are doing a good job in making sure that as they add on to the game, they do it the right way, because too often you see games that, and this doesn't necessarily just apply to games, I guess, but too often you see things that grow and add too much too quickly, and it kind of can take away from the core values of what that game or program was originally trying to do. So with that being said, the addition of stone fencing, or walls, in my opinion, very good. Very good move. Definitely love it. Now, I just today, I was on Twitter, and for those of you that want to follow me on multiple platforms, my Twitter is at Ranqeust LP. So if you'd like, follow me on there. But anyways, so I was on Twitter, and I was just, trolling about, reading different news, from things like Bethesda and Minecraft and other of my favorite YouTubers. And what comes out today but a tweet from Jeb. And he sent out a picture of these clay hills that it looks like they're trying to implement into the game, and I think it is probably one of the best biomes that they've added to this game to date. If I don't, for those of you in the United States, if you've ever been out west, to the Grand Canyon or any sort of deserty, hilly area within the United States, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the clay hills. Do I have a workbench? No, darn it. Or the hills out there, there are a lot of oranges and whites and yellows, and especially during the sunset and the sunrise and the sunset time period, they almost essentially glow in the sunlight. And the picture was of what looked like Minecraft Steve out in the distance on one of these hills, and that does two things. One, it gives us the amazing opportunity to explore these fantastic hills, these new biome in the desert hills, and get all the amazing sights. But it also adds a huge source of this hardened clay, and I haven't collected any of it in this world yet, just because this build at the moment is primarily consists of the stone, but we will be collecting a lot of that clay. But it adds the hardened clay without having to use up the regular clay sources around. So that in itself, on top of having picturesque areas, is a win in my book. So great job, Jeb and the Mojang team. I love what you're doing, and I keep it up. I want more. So, but yeah, so looking back at these windows, adding this fencing right to the front adds that little lip. It almost looks like a spine coming down the center. And from what that looked like before, you notice a difference where you not only do you have this here, but it breaks up the texture. You have another just another small detail to catch the eye. So I'm going to, let's see, how long am I running? I'm actually, yeah, I'm going to cut the episode here. So, and only because the episode is, I think, getting close to that half-an-hour mark. But, so let's step back. So yeah, we got a decent amount accomplished. You saw some of my building techniques. We've got the two wings here. The next part that I want to add to this build, I need to add the top lip here. And I think that I'm going to work out on the creative world a way to almost dome this off and round out the top, because I don't want it. It's not going to have multiple floors in here. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go that way or that way, but I know that I want to add almost like a facade right up here that will have possibly more of these style windows going up in a diagonal. But that I'm going to have to work out in a creative world. So From here, you guys, I've got another piece added to the doorway. We are coming along, and just episode number 7. The past couple weeks when I've starting this series have just gone by so fast, and I'm loving every second of it. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate, back to the subscribers and the followers. I really appreciate everything you've done, watching my videos, adding likes. You guys are a huge part of the building process for this channel, and I hope that you really enjoy what I'm trying to do here. And for any new guys that are coming along at this point, welcome. Welcome to the family, and we'll grow together. So yeah. All right, guys. So until next time, we will see you later. Bye, guys.
Here we go.